In this video, we're going to start the KutaSoftware Infinite PreAlgebra free worksheet order of operations. Now, on this worksheet, our directions are to evaluate each expression. And we're going to do that by using the order of operations. So, quick review, let's go over those order of operations. So we have first parentheses, so I'll put a big P for parentheses, and then we have exponents. So PE and then multiplication, but I want to note multiplication and division are in the same group. We do multiplication and division from left to right. So whichever one comes first, working left to right in our problem, and then addition and subtraction. And again, same concept as multiplication and division, we do addition and subtraction from left to right. So whether subtraction comes before addition, doesn't matter, we're working left to right. So left to right and left to right. So here it spells out PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. For those last two, we're working left to right. Let's go over number one. In number one, we have 30 minus 3 in parentheses divided by 3. So we're going to deal with our parentheses first. And within those parentheses, we'll evaluate. Within those parentheses, we have 30 minus 3, so that will be 27. And then from there, we'll do 27 divided by 3. 27 divided by 3 will give us 9. So 9 is our solution in number 1. Moving on to number 2, leaving PEMDAS so we can see it. Again, we have parentheses that we need to evaluate first. So we're going to do 21 minus 5, which 21 minus 5 is going to give us a 16. And then, if 21 minus 5 is 16, we still need to divide by 8. 16 divided by 8 will give us 2. 2 is our solution in number 2. So again, referring to PEMDAS, parentheses first, we didn't have any exponents. We do multiplication and division. So after we did that subtraction, because it was within our parentheses, we divided. Let's continue on to number 3. Number 3, we have 1 plus 7 squared. So remember, parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and addition and subtraction. So we're going to deal with our exponents. 7 squared, we know, is going to be 49. So we'll have 1 plus 49, which gives us 50. And again, 7 squared is 7 times 7. That's 49. 49 plus 1 is 50. On to number 4. Remember, multiplication comes before subtraction. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 4 at the start. 5 times 4 gives me 20, and then I'll subtract 8. 20 minus 8 is going to be a positive 12. 12 is our solution in number 4. In number 5, 8 plus 6 times 9. We need to do multiplication first. So we're going to multiply 6 by 9. 6 times 9 is going to be 54. And if you're curious how I multiply by 9 so quickly, check out my really neat finger multiplication trick for 9s. I'll leave a link in the video description below so you can take a look at that video. So if we have 54, which is 6 times 9, we'll need to add 8 to that. 8 plus 54 is going to be 62. So 62 is our solution in number 5. In number 6, we have two different operations. We have addition and we have multiplication. Which one comes first? Multiplication. So we'll do 17 times 5 at the start. And 17 times 5 is going to be 85. So we'll have 3 plus 85, which equals 88. And if you need to see this done vertically, 17 times 5, 7 times 5 is 35. Place the 5, carry the 3, 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 is 8, 85. That's 17 times 5, added to 3, we get 88. In number 7, we have 7 plus 12 times 11. Addition and multiplication, which one should we do first? Multiplication. So 12 times 11 comes first, and 12 times 11 is going to be 132, and then I'll add that with 7. 7 plus 132 gives me 139. So 139 is our solution in number 7. And if you're curious how I did 12 times 11 so quickly, I have my multiplication tables memorized up to 12. But if you don't, just do 12 times 10, because that's easy to figure out. 12 times 10 will be 10 12s, but then whatever we get for that, we have to add one more 12 to get a total of 11 12s. 12 times 10 is 120. 120 plus 12 gives us 132. So that's another way to think of this multiplication in your head, because multiplying by 10 is simpler when we deal with larger numbers than multiplying by 11. Now let's move on to number 8. In number 8, we have 15 plus 40 divided by 20. Two operations, addition and division. Which one do we do first? Division. So 40 divided by 20. 20 goes into 40 two times. So 40 divided by 20 is 2. And then I'll do 15 plus 2, which equals 17. So 17 is my solution for number 8. In number 9, I have addition and subtraction as my operations. And remember, we work with addition and subtraction from left to right. So if this was subtraction and then addition, I would wind up doing the subtraction first. But addition to subtraction, working left to right. I'm going to do 20 plus 16. That's going to give me a 36. And then I'll subtract 15. 36 minus 15 is going to be 21. So 21 is my solution in number 9. In number 10, I have nothing but subtraction, so only one operation. Just going to go left to right. 19 minus 15, that's going to give me a positive 4. And then I'll have 4 minus 3, which gives me 1. Now, why is it important to work left to right when dealing with subtraction? Look at this. If we wound up doing 15 minus 3 first, we would get 12. And 19 minus 12, that's definitely not going to give us 1. That's going to give us 7. And 7 does not equal 1, so for this expression, I got two different answers. I got 7 and 1. But by order of operations, we work left to right. 19 minus 15 is 4. 4 minus 3 equals 1. That is the correct answer. Now let's look at number 11. Number 11, we have 9 times 3 plus 3 divided by 6. I have some parentheses, so I'm going to do my parentheses first. 3 plus 3, that's going to equal 6. So now I have 9 times 6 divided by 6. And now for multiplication and division, their order is interchangeable, so we work left to right. So we'll do 9 times 6 first. 9 times 6 is 54, and then we'll divide that by 6 to get 9. 9 is our solution in number 11. In number 12, I have 9 plus 18 minus 3 divided by 8. Notice that my 9 plus 18 minus 3 are in parentheses. So I'm going to do this first. And because addition and subtraction, I work left to right, I'll do 9 plus 18, leaving my parentheses. 9 plus 18 will get me 27. So I'll have 27 minus 3, and then I'll divide that by 8. So because I haven't completed everything within my parentheses, now I have to use my parentheses again, doing 27 minus 3. And 27 minus 3 will give me 24. So I have no other operations within those parentheses, so I don't have to continue writing them. I just have 24 divided by 8, which is equal to 3. 3 is my solution, and number 12. Let's continue on to the next page. Let's go ahead and work on the second page. Now, remembering order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. So, right now we have addition, division, and subtraction. But that subtraction is within parentheses, so we're going to do that first. So doing 8 minus 2, we'll get 6. So we have 9 plus 6 divided by 6. Now, what comes first? Addition or division? Division, right? So 6 divided by 6 gives me 1. 9 plus 1, that's going to be equal to 10. 10 is my solution in number 13. In number 14, I have many different operations. I have division, I have addition, and this 4 is technically multiplied to everything in those parentheses. But parentheses comes first. So within the parentheses, I'm deciding between division or addition. Division comes first. So I'll have my 4 out here, leaving that, and I'll multiply that by 4 divided by 2 is 2, and I need to add 4 still within my parentheses. Now parentheses comes next. 2 plus 4 is going to give me 6. So I have 4, but I need to multiply that by 6 because that 6 is still within parentheses. I'll treat this as multiplication. 4 times 6 is going to be 24. 24 is my solution in number 14. And again, you do all operations within your parentheses before you multiply. In number 15, I have addition, and then I have addition, and then I have multiplication. But this middle addition happens within parentheses, so we know that parentheses comes first. So I'll have 6 plus 5 plus 8, that's going to be 13. And then that gets multiplied by 4. Now, out of addition and multiplication, multiplication comes next. So 13 times 4, I'll calculate that, and that'll be 52. And then 6 plus my 52 will leave me with 58. So I'll get 58 in number 15. And if you want to quickly see 13 times 4 vertically, 13 times 4, 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1, 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 gives me 5. 52, and then I add that to 6 to get 58. In number 16, I have 6 times 6, and I'm subtracting 7 plus 5. So parentheses to start. 7 plus 5 is going to be 12. So I'll have 6 times 6 over here minus 12. Now what comes next? Multiplication or subtraction? Well, in order of operations, that's going to be multiplication. So I know that 6 times 6 is going to give me 36. So I'll have 36 minus 12. And 36 minus 12 gives me 24. So 24 is my solution in number 16. In number 17, I have 9 times 2 divided by 2 plus 1. In this problem, I have 2 sets of parentheses, so I'll evaluate each of those individually. So I'll go ahead and evaluate my 9 times 2, which is 18, and I'll be dividing that by evaluating this parenthesis, 2 plus 1, which gives me 3. So again, because my parentheses were separate, I evaluated this parenthesis, and then I'll be dividing that by evaluating that parenthesis. 18 divided by 3 will give me 6. So 6 is my solution in number 17. And again, if you wanted to go step by step and only do one parenthesis at a time, we'll do the leftmost one first, 18, and we'll divide that by 2 plus 1, but remember that 2 plus 1 is within parentheses. So now we'll have 18 divided by 2 plus 1 is 3, that's 6. Either way of going about this problem is perfectly acceptable. Now on to number 18. In number 18, I have subtraction, addition, and subtraction. But remember, I have to do what's inside of my parentheses first. Now, what comes first? Addition or subtraction? Remember, addition and subtraction were together when we talked about order of operations. So I'm going to work those from left to right. So I'll do 4 plus 3 first within those parentheses. So 2 minus 4 plus 3 is 7, and then I'll subtract 6. Now, still working within my parentheses, 7 minus 6 gives me 1. So I'll have 2 minus 1, which equals a positive 1. Let's move on to number 19. In number 19, I have 7 times 7, so multiplication, and then I'll be subtracting 8 minus 2. What am I to do first? My parentheses. So whatever's inside of those parentheses. 8 minus 2, that's going to give me 6, so I'll have 7 times 7 minus 6. Next, what comes? Multiplication or subtraction? Multiplication. So I'll do 7 times 7, which will give me 49, and then I'll be subtracting 6. 49 minus 6 will leave me with 43. 43 is my solution in number 19. In number 20, I don't have any parentheses, I don't have any exponents, so what comes next? Multiplication and division. So I'll be doing division first, and then after that, addition and subtraction come, so I'll work left to right. 6 divided by 6 is going to give me 1. So I have 9 minus 7 minus 1. Working left to right, 9 minus 7 is going to be 2, and then I'll subtract 1. 2 minus 1, that equals 1. So 1 is my answer for number 20. And quickly I want to note, what if we did 7 minus 1 first? Not working left to right? Doing this first would leave us with, I'll rewrite it over here. If we did 7 minus 1 first, 7 minus 1 is 6. And then we'd have a 9 minus 6, which would equal 3. So 3 and 1 are not equal. They're not the same thing. That's why order of operations is so important. Doing it in the order that's specified, you will get the correct answer. Doing it out of order, you may get lucky, but most likely you won't get the same answer. So always do your order of operations. So do not, whatever you do 7 minus 1 first. Always work left to right when we have the same signs. And of course, once we learn addition and multiplication rules, you'll learn that addition is commutative and multiplication is commutative. So that changes things up a bit because the order in which we add or the order in which we multiply doesn't matter. But for now, let's just work left to right. In number 21, we have parentheses, so we know we're going to do that first. And inside those parentheses, we have subtraction, addition, and division. So within those parentheses, the operation that I'm going to do first is division. So I'll have 4 minus 1 plus 8 divided by 8 gives me 1. And that will get multiplied by 5. Now you may be thinking multiplication comes next, but I still have these parentheses, so I'm still working within my parentheses, and then I'm going to work left to right, because remember, for addition and subtraction, those are interchangeable in the order of operations, so we work left to right. 4 minus 1 will come next, that will be 3, and then I'll add that to 1. 3 plus 1 will get multiplied by 5. 3 plus 1, still in those parentheses, still got to do these operations first. That's going to be 4, and 4 times 5 gives me 20. 20 is my solution in number 21. Now, I quickly want to note in this one why PEMDAS sometimes confuses people. We write P first, and then we write exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. And why I write them in different colors, or why I try to group them, is because multiplication and division are interchangeable, we're working left to right. And addition and subtraction are interchangeable, we're working left to right. But if you assumed that we were supposed to do addition first within our parentheses here, we would have gotten a completely different answer, which would have been wrong. If we would have taken 4 minus 1 plus 1 and multiplied that by 5, if we did this addition first, which is wrong, this is not the right way to do it, but if we did that addition first, 1 plus 1 gives us 2. 4 minus 2 times 5 is what we would have. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 times 5 equals 10, which is not the right answer. That's why addition and subtraction, they're interchangeable, but we work left to right. So never assume that addition comes before subtraction. It does not. That's why we always work left to right when we're dealing with multiplication and division, or addition and subtraction. Let's move on to number 22. In number 22, we have 10 times 2 divided by 1 plus 1. Remember, parentheses first. So 10 times 2 and 1 plus 1 is what we'll do first. And I'll go ahead and do 10 times 2 working left to right. 10 times 2 is going to be a positive 20. And I'll divide that by 1 plus 1. My next set of parentheses, 1 plus 1, I'll compute. So I'll have 20 divided by 1 plus 1 is 2. Now, all I have left is division, so let's just divide. 20 divided by 2 gives me 10. So 10 is our solution in number 22. In number 23, we have multiplication, subtraction, and again, multiplication. So multiplication comes first. So I'll do 7 times 9, which is 63. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if you were impressed with how fast I multiplied 7 by 9 in my head, check out this really cool math trick that I did a video on for multiplying by 9. Click the link in the description below to check it out. So I have 63 minus 7 minus 3 times 5. So now all I have is subtraction, subtraction, and multiplication. So I know that multiplication comes next. So I'll have 63 minus 7 minus 15. Now all I have left is subtraction, so I'll work left to right. Next, I'll do 63 minus 7. 63 minus 7 is going to be 56. So then all I have to do is subtract 15. 56 minus 15 is going to be 41. So 41 is my solution in number 23. And lastly on this video, number 24. But before we do this, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, and if you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. And I know order of operations can be tricky, so share it with somebody that you think will also find it useful. But now on to 24, this last problem. Parentheses comes first, so 18 minus 2 is what we'll do. So I'll rewrite 8 minus 1 minus 18 minus 2, that's going to be 16, because 18 minus 2 gives us 16, and then we'll divide that by 8. Now, if all I have left is subtraction and division, we're going to do the division first. So 16 divided by 8 is going to give us 2. So I'll have 8 minus 1 minus 2. Now, working left to right, 8 minus 1 is 7. And then I'll have 7 minus 2, which equals 9, which equals 5. So 5 is our final solution on this worksheet, order of operations. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you want more ways to support me, and if you want another way to support me, become a Patreon. And if you want another way to support me, click my Patreon link to find out more. But as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.